I, 28F, came home early and found my boyfriend of 4 years in bed with someone who looked exactly like me. The worst part? It wasn't even the first time. Hey Reddit, throw away for obvious reasons. I never thought I'd be posting one of these, but after the last 72 hours, I need to get this out before I explode. Buckle up. This one's long, but every word is true. My name's Sophie. I've been with Liam for 4 years. We met at a mutual friend's housewarming party in 2021 when everything still felt hopeful after the worst of the pandemic. He was charming in that low-key way, dry humor, remembered how I take my coffee, helped my mom carry groceries without being asked. The kind of guy people describe as solid. We moved in together 2 years ago into a small 2-bedroom in the city. I'm a graphic designer working mostly from home. He's a regional sales manager for a medical supply company, which meant he traveled 2 to 3 days a week. It was never perfect, but it worked. We were talking about getting a dog and maybe proposing next summer. I had already started secretly saving for his dream watch as an engagement gift. 3 months ago, the little cracks started appearing. He became weird about his phone. Not in the obvious hiding it way, but he'd suddenly take it to the bathroom every time, and the work calls at 11 p.m. became more frequent. When I'd ask who it was, he'd say, just the team in Singapore, or a client who doesn't understand time zones. I believed him because, why wouldn't I? He'd never given me a real reason not to. Then came the distance. He stopped initiating sex, started working out obsessively, lost 12 pounds in 6 weeks, and suddenly cared about skincare. I teased him about it. Who are you trying to impress? He laughed it off and said he wanted to look good for our future. I should have listened to my gut. Last Tuesday, my biggest client had a family emergency and canceled our afternoon presentation. I was already dressed and ready, so I thought I'd surprise Liam. He'd told me he was working from home that day because he had a migraine. I stopped at his favorite bakery, got those ridiculously expensive pistachio croissants he loves, and headed home around 2 p.m. I unlocked the door quietly, thinking I'd sneak up and scare him in his home office. Instead, I heard noises from our bedroom. At first, I thought he was watching something. Then I heard a woman moan his name. My stomach dropped so fast I almost threw up on the spot. I stood there in the hallway holding the bakery bag like an idiot, heart hammering so loud I was scared they'd hear it. Part of me wanted to run. The other part, the angry, betrayed part, needed to see. I pushed the door open. There they were. Liam, naked, on top of a woman in our bed. The sheets I'd bought on sale last month, the pillows I'd fluffed that morning. But the craziest part? The woman looked exactly like me. Same long, dark hair, same height, similar build. From the back, if you squinted, you might think it was me. She even had a small tattoo on her shoulder blade, a tiny crescent moon. I have one too, in the exact same spot. I got it in college on a drunken dare. She turned her head when the door creaked. We locked eyes. For a second, nobody moved. Liam's face went from pleasure to pure panic in half a second. The girl's expression was stranger, not guilty, almost curious. I don't even remember what I said first. Something like, what the actual fuck? Liam started babbling. Sophie, it's not, I can explain, this isn't. The girl sat up, pulling the sheet around herself casually, like this was a normal Tuesday afternoon for her. Hi, she said. I'm Mia. Her voice sounded similar to mine, slightly lower but close enough that it made my skin crawl. I threw the bakery bag at Liam. The croissants went everywhere. Then I did what any self-respecting woman would do. I started recording on my phone. Liam tried to get out of bed and tripped over his own pants, naked, scrambling, begging me not to post anything. Meanwhile, Mia just watched with this weird little smile. That's when the second bomb dropped. You're the girlfriend, she said calmly. He told me you were his ex, that you were crazy and still lived here sometimes. I thought this was his place. I laughed. It sounded manic even to me. His ex? We've been together 4 years. We split rent. That's my fucking skincare in the bathroom. Mia's face changed. The smile disappeared. She looked at Liam like he was something she'd scraped off her shoe. You piece of shit, she whispered. Turns out Mia is 27, works as a barista at the coffee shop near his office. They'd been seeing each other for 2 months. He told her he was recently single, still figuring out the living situation with his crazy ex, me. And that's why they mostly met at hotels or her place. But sometimes when I was supposedly visiting my parents, he'd bring her here. The doppelganger thing? Complete coincidence. Or not. She said he always complimented how she looked like someone he used to know. He apparently liked her hair long, liked when she wore it down, liked the same perfume I wear. He bought it for her too. I told her to get dressed and get out. She did, but not before looking at Liam and saying, "Delete my number. If you ever contact me again, I'm telling my brother. He's a cop." Then it was just me and him. I didn't scream. I didn't cry in front of him. I just felt this cold, terrifying clarity. I told him to pack a bag and leave. He cried. Actually cried. Said he'd been stressed, that the traveling messed with his head, that he loved me, that this was a mistake. That Mia was just a fantasy because she reminded him of how I used to look when we first met, before I cut my hair shorter last year. I let him talk. Then I showed him the video I'd recorded. "I'm sending this to your mother, your boss, and every mutual friend we have if you're not out in 20 minutes. He left in 15. The next 48 hours have been chaos. I changed the locks, canceled the joint subscriptions, transferred half the savings. Thank God we never merged finances completely. Blocked him everywhere. But here's the part that's actually making me spiral. Mia messaged me yesterday. She apologized. Said she genuinely thought I was the crazy ex. We ended up talking for 2 hours on the phone. She told me details that made my skin crawl. How Liam had taken her to the same weekend cabin we went to last summer. How he'd used the same pet names. How he'd complained about me in ways that were so specific they had to be true. My anxiety, my controlling need to know where he was, etc. She also sent screenshots. Turns out I wasn't the only one. There are at least 3 other women in the last year. One of them is married. Another is a 24-year-old intern at one of his client companies. He'd been running some kind of harem situation while I was planning our future. I feel so stupid. So embarrassingly, painfully stupid. My friends are split. Some are in full burn his shit mode. Others are asking if I'm sure. I want to blow up his life. His mother called me crying, saying he's sick and needs help. I'm sitting in my apartment right now surrounded by half his stuff in trash bags. I keep staring at the bed. I already ordered a new mattress. The craziest part? I don't even miss him yet. I miss the version of my life I thought I had, the one where I was safe, where someone loved me enough not to humiliate me this badly. I keep thinking about that moment when I opened the bedroom door, the way Mia looked at me, the way Liam looked like a cornered animal. I don't know how to end this post. I guess I'm asking, what would you do? How do you come back from realizing the last 4 years were mostly a lie? How do you trust anyone again when the person you trusted most turned your own face into a fetish? Update. It's been 4 days since I posted the original. The story exploded more than I expected. Liam got fired. HR at his company saw the video. I didn't even send it. Someone else did. His mom isn't speaking to him. Mia and I actually met for coffee yesterday. She's nice. Funny in a dark humor way. We both agreed we're way too similar for this to be healthy, but we're trauma bonded now, I guess. I'm still not okay, but I'm angry. And anger feels better than the hollow sadness. If you're reading this and you're in a relationship where something feels off, the phone, the distance, the work trips, trust your gut. I ignored mine for months because I didn't want to be that girl. I'd rather be that girl than the girl who walked in on her life being cosplayed by someone else. Thanks for reading my mess. TLDR. Caught my boyfriend cheating with my literal doppelganger in our bed. Turns out he had multiple women and had been lying for over a year. Currently burning the life we built to the ground. Send wine and new bed sheets.